Okay. Um, I just want to do a quick video. This is gonna be my mid afternoon, midday reality check. Um, Currently, I'm employed by people who employ me for the purpose of partaking. They got the benefit out of it. Things don't look normal. Things don't look the way they wanted to make it look like. It seems like they clearly participate in that because they're benefiting from what this technology can do. And today, some of my coworkers, they just like you can't even take them serious, even though they're serious individual. There was a coworker of mine. He did this movement of like self pleasure, and what he was trying to do was trying to make me subscribe to how they manipulated me a while ago, and they brought up this manipulation. It actually stimulated me immediately when they made me think of the disturbing things they did to me. Now let me just start with what's happening to me. I was employed by a company that happens to be very influenceable in this country, and they put me in a program where target individual become target individual, test subjects. And then because of that, today, what's happening to my mind and my thought process have been tormenting and disgusting. Disturbed by the way they are altering my brain. This technology is something they've been working on for decades. I don't have doubt that this is what's happening to me, and I've accepted the reality of what this is about. I know that once you put in this program, your life is destroyed. Now I'm currently employed by people who wants to partake, and one day maybe I'll be able to speak about the vertical they're in. It's something they clearly know. There's no even escaping. That my brain is being played with and manipulated. And because these people still want to be taken serious, even though it's clear that what they involved in change people, brain, thought process, and have the ability to rewire your brain. I was on using that, I know they're obviously watching what I'm doing. So I purposely look up things that they know they hate. They do a lot of things with memory manipulation. And I've been saying that before, knowing that there's a term called MMTs. Memory modification technologies, right? And it's a group of specific technology that's specifically for the altering of the mind, right? Obviously, that is not what the DoD is working on specifically, but it's what's available for the civilians to see. Now, you can only imagine what those entities in the Defense Department or, those who aren't going to show what's happening there, how far ahead. We know that there's a difference between civilian technology and defense technology. Defense technology is multiple decades ahead of civilian technology. A lot of the new technology that we see as civilians is things that's been old and used and utilized before in the DoD and then passed on to the civilian. And so I purposely looked up that because they still want to be seen as people that you should respect. And they want you to be accepting of this. These MMTs already, with the civilian technology that this is specifically, confirm that they have been able to, on different non-human subjects, implant false memories, implantation of thoughts, and implantation of memories specifically. They try to play with me. So memory manipulation is something that they've been working on. And so when you put that kind of reality in front of people who just want to recreate what this is about in their version, they become very defensive. It's all out. Especially, I've noticed, the people who believe they're more intellectual than others tend to be more, turn themselves more idiotic than people who just don't think of themselves of like the most intellectual, but they're smart in their ways. But I've noticed it's like a freaking complex. And this guy, he wants to be seen as like, I'm like, you know what this is about. And the thing that disturbed me is because I've been saying things like they manipulate my memories for the purpose of making me identify with the current experiences I'm experiencing today. And it's funny that one of the fear about these memory manipulations, that this technology that they're coming up with, is fear number one. This might mess with the person's self-identity. If you manipulate somebody's memories, he can start identifying himself differently because his memories have been falsified to be something else, right? And I've been saying the fact that they're changing my memories for the purpose of making me accepted of the current experiences I'm experiencing today that's manipulated by this other technology that they've been working on that can alter the memories, the thought process. Today, they do this disgusting manipulation that are so pedophilia-centric. The reason why they do these things, and today is not only unique to me, they do that to other target individual, men, women, and women. Women are describing how they're being forced to get sexual arousal when they see children, from the youngest to the older kids. Others, even babies. So the reason why they do that is because who's behind this technology is entities specializing in creating weapon systems. So they're weaponizing this technology. Now these opportunists utilize this weaponized technology to participate in that, try to make you acceptive of like, we're not manipulating you, it's you. Even though you know that the technology that's being utilized on you is weaponized, your thought process are manipulated in a way that's disturbing you. So that's how they weaponize this. And then they construct people all around you to try to confuse, to make you accept of this. It's so obvious. Now, if I told you the vertical I was in, you'd be like, okay, out of everybody wants to partake. But them, I can only imagine what they can get out of it. So they brought up something disturbing that they make me experience. One of the manipulation that they can do, and that's why it's so disturbing, is to play with your perceptions. Now imagine people who are involved or partake in this, who wants you to break down, can play with the way you perceive anything they want you to perceive, and manipulate you to perceive them in whatever fashion. They can make you perceive things in sexual matters that you won't perceive in sexual matters. Some extreme, some less extreme. When they do the pedophilia type of torture, they manipulate your perceptions and make you be able to manipulate your brain to see children in sexual way. It's so disgusting. You see videos about derriere. What I was trying to say is, in that video, is like the way they even make me look at these little babies, little girls, little children butts, little toddlers, in ways that's sexual, the little butts, and stimulate me and also make me perceive these babies in these ways. In my brain, they're like, no, it's natural. And you have people making this noise campaign that's supposed to scare you into accepting this. Like literally right now, you might not hear it, but because they're using V2K, somebody hit the wall and said natural. Right? They really want you to identify with this. It's disturbing. And as a target individual, the reason why I say stay strong is their job, these people that you see participating in that, want you to feel guilty and not think that you're being manipulated, that they are creating these specific experiences for the purpose of breaking you down. One thing they bring up is, I remember when I was at the airport, there was a little toddler, maybe 2-3-year-old, just running, little baby, running, and I remember how disturbing I see the little baby, they just try to play with my brain and how I see this little baby's butt. It was disgusting. It's disturbing. They actually did something like that today again, and specifically, like this baby here, who's a little bit younger. That's probably not even a 1-year-old, but a little baby like that. Imagine playing the mind to see a little baby's butt like that in a sexual way. And then, in my brain, they're like, it's a little girl, so it's like whatever it is. But playing your brain this way. Now, this baby is not even, maybe he's a year old. It looks like this baby's just learning how to walk. But they play my brain in these disturbing ways with the ability to play with your perceptions. Now, I'm realizing this trash is disgusting. Now, the way they mess with me, they play my libido, they do this all disgusting. They love to utilize your libido, manipulate it, control it, to make you have the arousals that they want you to have, the stimulation they want you to have when they want it. and what you think they're gonna do. If this is a program that is improving a weapon system, your libido is going to be manipulated in such a degrading way that it will make you want to kill yourself. They play with my brain and my libido in ways that's so disgusting. So this guy, what he did in front of me, he started making that movement. And I saw him doing that because he tried to convince me that I'm not being manipulated. Now, the reason why he does that, first of all, they play with my libido so much that what's going to happen is you become so sexually cranked up because they've been cranking your libido for days. Every day, just every time you see a child that stimulates you, they play with your libido, and you feel an extreme sexual stimulation, almost a climax. Whenever they want, bam! It's non-stop. So what happens is you become very sexually cranked up. So for me to release some of that sexual nastiness, the sexual stimulation they've been cranking up throughout the day, every once in a week or something like that, I have to release. And I try to, and so I end up doing things to release that. I don't want to be graphic. So this morning I released. Now, doing that is not wrong. I'm sure that this person that made that movement probably did whatever he did. I don't care. But he did that to let me know he saw that. I'm like, you're disgusting trash. And by the way, when I'm watching adult content, as I'm trying to release this, what they do with my brain, they just try to rewire it and put children. It's so disgusting. And it's clear manipulation. It's like, how does this turn into what you put in my brain? But this trash, he makes that nose campaign. It's like, do you think I feel embarrassed? You are the one watching me watching this adult content, and as a grown man, you're grown. What would you even care? Do you think I want to see you do that? But also, he did that because what he was trying to do is, when I was a middle schooler, 8th grader, I did something to myself that was inappropriate. I was 13, 14 years old. Now, I'm not going to say my age. Let's just say I'm getting closer to 40. And today, when they make me have this experience, when I see these little babies, it's like, no, remember what you did? It's like, I'm a grown man. What I did as a child is a child act, inappropriate act. I'm not a freaking child. But you guys are involved in a program that clearly does this disgusting manipulations. And you guys are no children, even though you utilize this fucking trash that are children. To frame you, to participate in this, to agitate you. But this program is known to alter the brain. You think you're going to make me subscribe to that? You think I don't know who I am because you are doing this sexual movement and say you're just making my brain a child? Never. I know what you're doing. You do the pedophilia type of torture. They're known to be doing that. They play with your libido. They're known to be doing that. And they're known to be doing this pedophilia type of torture. For the purpose of what? Weaponizing this technology and breaking it down to the point of suicide. Or insanity. To give up. It's so disturbing to deal with, to be manipulated to the point where you can't even look at a little baby like that without them playing with your perception. And the sad thing is, you see that if you're normal, oh, that's adorable, the little girl running around. And now it's changing to something disgusting where the little butt of a child like that is not. And then you hear this trash who not only are manipulating your brain in these ways, disturbs you in this way, but also know very well that the things that they involved in this program, they know who else is dying. Children like that, as just showed, are dying and being tortured. This is not some conspiracy theory. Listen to the testimonials of this woman. Talk about their own babies, their own infants being radiated, some of them having seizures. And then you see this trash who wants to convince me that I'm not being manipulated to see these babies this way, and then get manipulation that's this sexual arousals to torment you, and to know that not only they can control your libido, but this is not even the new stuff. The perception manipulation is a little bit more of the sophisticated technology. But the libido manipulation is old technology. The ability to make somebody have a sexual arousal is old. This is some of the first things they were able to do when they were able to start manipulating human beings. when you see people having to combat the reality that the technology that we have today is technology that's back in the 60s and 50s, and I'm scrolling down there, I'm seeing all the babies, they forced me to have this reaction toward teenage kids, and they were able to do these things. What you're gonna hear is, once again, the clear validation that your libido can be easily manipulated on command.
One carried out by Dr. C. Sem Jacobson in Norway.
This article is written in the 70s. This experiment is in the 60s or in the 50s, before the article was written.
The group of patients suffering from schizophrenia and Parkinson's disease describes ESB at different cerebral points as producing moods which ranged from feeling good to slight euphoria, to where the euphoria was beyond normal limits, and the patients laughed hilariously. During another study, a man being treated for narcolepsy, irresistible sleep attacks, was given a small self-stimulator. He kept pushing one particular button which he declared made him feel as if he were building up to a sexual climax.
This is in the 70s. Sorry, 60s. This article was written November 15, 1970. Now you have this trash involved in a program where they're weaponizing technology that can alter your mind, but act like, no, what we're doing, we're just mapping your brain into it. And it's funny how they use this like sensible people. And I detest that kind of people, because they think that, oh, I'm just too sensible to be involved in something that will actually manipulate the brain. Yeah, right. I was like, we won't manipulate the brain today. We're just mapping. It's like, okay, that's so. Nobody would be interested in technology that manipulate the brain, right? What would they do that for? Like, what would they gain out of it? And it's so nasty. And when he did, I'm like, first of all, and by the way, just to mess with them, like, I know that men and women self-pleasure all the time. These videos are not, it's not about sex things, but just to let you know that, first of all, as a grown man, as a grown woman, you can do whatever you want to yourself. You can please yourself as much as you want to. Now, I don't think it's healthy. And I'm not talking about the disturbing things they want to rewire things to when I look at adult content changing to children. No. I'm talking about just the regular, normal things. When things are not manipulated. So I'm like, first of all, how many times have you done it this week? Now, I don't care. Maybe 0, maybe 20. It doesn't matter to me. My point is, you're a grown man trying to use that and try to make me feel guilty that you watch. I watch this person, I'm not even gonna say, I call it GS, is an adult content specific person. I'm like, yeah, that's. So do you feel comfortable doing that? And then they try to gaslight you over nothing. My brain today I'm confused sometimes because my brain is being damaged. Okay, I understand.